Okay, I'm actually back at the mine entrance, not at the desert, because... yeah, I remember there being... oh? Being hookshot points here. But really? I don't know. What? What? You got... this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. Holy crud. Really? Look how much health these guys took off of me. Just from chain stunning me. It's brutal. Okay, anyways. Yeah, with the big ones. There we go. Yeah, so when I looked at the map, you can see that where the area we're at right now, the mines, look like they lead off into the uncharted portion. So presumably, this is where we need to go. Oh man, look at that. What the? What? What? Okay. Okay, anyway. A reason to be on this other side? I know we could already get up here without. Oh well, we have to get up. In order to get to this portion, we need to do that. Okay. Yeah, presumably this is where we get to a new area. Yeah. Yeah. To wherever this leads. I mean, I know where this leads, but you don't get to see it. Man, the chain noise is kind of piercing. Lenevu Caves. Hold on. That's not Gorko. That's a different dude. He's gonna be really confused hearing hearing a harp behind him. Oh, an evil crystal, not bad. They say somewhere in the vast desert there's a dragon who loves putting the abilities of those who visit him to some kind of test. You can master the challenges he throws at you. You'll be rewarded with a shield stronger than any other. You don't say. Yes, folks, that is the ye old combat challenge for this game. And it gets you more than just a shield, it also gets you a heart piece. We will be doing that. I did it in my last playthrough. I'll do it again. Despite my wishes. Oh, it's a placard. Ahead is Lenevu Mine. It is there that I will solve the mystery of the time shift zones. Made a plaque just to say that? So there's two Gorns. I actually don't remember this guy at all. Hello, sir. Golo. I almost never get visitors. My name is Golo, and I'm researching the legend of the 3 dragons, one of which is said to live here. I guess Gorons being the fact that they're beings that have clearly lived for centuries upon centuries, if they ever die at all. I guess it makes sense that like at one point in time or another they would have been travelers and researchers and archaeologists. Basically, they see the whole world change around them forever, so they have plenty of time to explore it. At first glance, it would seem that there is nothing in this area, but I know that there's something here. I'll just keep on looking. So your name is Link. I see. Not the easiest name to say, is it? Link? How about you, Link? Why are you here? You're looking for a sacred flame. That sounds like something I have heard of before, but maybe not. Sweet Goro. I remember now. I read something about it in the ancient scrolls that spoke of the Linebu Sand Sea. I do not remember all the details, but you can get to the Linebu Sand Sea. We just go straight through here. Can I has key? If you want to get to the Linebu Sand Sea, you're going to need this key. Only use it in this area. In other words, don't think you can go take this to another dungeon and use it, you freak. Good luck to you. Well, good luck to you. You know, I might be able to just get this. Tuck and roll, dude. Well, first time we actually saw them roll up. Oh, it did blow up a little bit. Is there anything else I could help you with? Well, you just plan on throwing more bombs at me. It depends. You want to find out anything about the legend of the 3 dragons? Be sure to let me know. Can I? No, he won't let me. Even though I know. I'm gonna multitask here. Oh, monster horn. Some bokoblins carry a monster horn on their waist. If you latch onto it and pull it with your whip, it is possible to claim it for yourself. Oh, okay, so there's one thing we can steal. But only the blue ones hold that in there. Would have that, because only they call stuff. Oh, crud. The crud? Well, that got him all the way over there. Sorry, bud. I'm not trying to freak you out. I just want the goods. Wait, what's over here? Head is Linebu Desert. Adventurers await those solving the mysteries of the quarry in the desert. I already solved all the mysteries over there I think I need to. Hold on. Oh ho ho. Wait, why are there multiple layers of rock to cover up some pots? They better drop like a million rupees. At least. Not 1 million. Not even 500,000. Well, game, I don't understand what the point of that was, but whatever. Wait, so where this comes out in the desert? Where in the desert? So this is like a crossroads for every place, every location in the desert. Oh. Oh, we could have entered through this way too. We've been here before. Fascinating. Okay. Multiple entrances to the next area. The Sand Sea, which is an interesting name. Well, let's go seek our fortune, I guess. Trying to drink some actual water. Being in such a dry place is making me parched. Report, Master. This is the Lenevu Sand Sea. This whole area was once a vast ocean. But the water has all evaporated and now the area is a sea of sand. Ooh, I'm digging the music already. Signs indicate that this place is functional as a port linking the land to the sea. Fascinating. This area operated on a new form of power. There's a 90% probability that the sacred flame is located ahead. I recommend exploring the Sand Sea. I really dig the music. Wait, is this the whole sea? Or is this just the port and then that leads to the sea and that's what the sea's a whole other thing? Seems like maybe that's the case. I really like the instrumentation here. Oh, well, he wouldn't lift it up. I pulled out the net. There's like a delay to everything you do in this game. I don't know why I thought that would work. Had to give it a shot though, you know? Oh. Gotta be careful not to step on them. Holy crud. Wait, I don't... What do you want me to do? Game? Game? You gotta... This sucks. This blows. Holy crud. Those guys are not that bad at first. Fighting like large forms of them, well, cause the idea, you need to hack them down, you need to kill them quickly or else they just reform over and over again. But like, but every time you slice them down once and they just immediately reform. They immediately start to electrocute you and then reform anyways. So I guess you need to do a horizontal slice. No, you need to do a vertical slice in order to make them jump apart initially. Maybe you just need to do all vertical slices. That kind of seemed to get the job done, to be honest. Hold on. Ow. Oh. Whoa. Okay, yeah, sure. No, I understand. That was a lot. Kind of unnerving, kind of horrifying. Bad? I got the... Oh, yeah, even when the cube's indoors, they always make sure to put a hole at the top. Okay, that was a little discovery. Sometimes I swear I flick and it's like it doesn't register. It's a little... I guess the game... You really have to make sure you jam the right stick. Or else, like... Yeah, I don't know. It's a little finicky sometimes. Holy crud, why? Okay, I think I figured these guys out now. Okay, enough screwing around. I feel like I've spent 20 years just hanging out in this one area. Okay. Skipper. Oh my gosh, if you couldn't already tell, he's a little pirate robot. I want him to be alive though. Now this, what's coming up, is actually really cool. Link, chill out. You don't need to look so pissed off. A little bit of Phantom Hourglass vibes right now. That's right, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh my gosh, we're getting sailing? I remember sailing. Sailing is great. Who are you? Some human. Who am I? I'm the proud skipper of the ship that protects Nehru's flame. Protector ship? It was the day of the storm. Fu weep. No, please. My crew and I were navigating the seas as usual. And then those brutes. The pirates suddenly attacked us. They were after Nehru's flame. My crew was imprisoned. I was thrown into the sea. I drifted on the current to this port. After that, I took this boat and went to search for my ship and crew, but they were nowhere to be found. It haunts me, wondering where my ship could be. I bet my hat they've turned the ship invisible and are hiding somewhere. You can't see it. Why not? In order to protect Nehru's flame, the ship has a function that allows it to become invisible. Is the ship itself Nehru's flame? You say you're searching for Nehru's flame. Oh, so you need the Nehru's flame to find someone important to you. In that case, you should help me search for my ship and crew. That's right, everybody. You thought this was gonna be another desert section? It's freaking sailing. We're on a ship. We're on a ship with a ship man. A ship robot man. It's actually really cool. I think this is super cool, and it's one of the best uses of the time shift stone. So since the time shift stone is the power source to the ship, everything around it, like Fee said, this used to be an ocean, so everything around the ship becomes ocean again and lets us sail, and the area, it creates like this little area around our ship as we're sailing that like stays in the past. It's a really, really cool idea. Honestly, more stuff like this. I would have loved to see more stuff like this. It's a really cool idea. I mean, heck, you can make a whole game off of this concept alone, to be fair. If you'll help me, then I guess I'll let you on my boat. I'll help, man. You're one of the very few robots who isn't immediately rude to me. Really? Well, in that case. Now, granted, I think it's weird that all the other robots are just like mining drones, but you were the captain of a ship. You had a crew, and you were trying to protect like an ancient flame. There's something weird about that map of yours. If you're going to navigate these treacherous waters, then you need a proper sea chart. There was a sea chart in my shack at Skipper's Retreat. So first, you need to get on this boat and set a course for Skipper's Retreat. Shall we shove off? Let's go. Alright, let's go. Now, this isn't a whole game of sailing, so I don't remember the sailing being that substantial. But look, I mean, look though, it's pretty cool. My circuit sparked to life in the salt air. It feels good to take to the seas again after so long, but let's see if I can remember how to navigate. L to move, B to speed up, Z to ready cannon, cool, Z to fire. So it's not exactly the Great Sea, you know. We can admit that it's not exactly the Great Sea. It's more like Great Bay, right? Majora's Mask, where it's like, hey, there was like a whole like ocean section in Great Bay that you could swim through, which is pretty crazy. It was like pretty ambitious given the already like crazy scope of that game. I place an X to the island where my house is. There is a pier on the island where we can dock. Okay. Right, let's go. Well, you know what? I mean, this is faster than flying, that's for sure. But they freaking, why are you Nintendo, why did you think the stamina gauge, why did you think limiting every convenient form of movement was like necessary though? That I do not understand. But look at this. The music's really cool. You get to look down into the water, which is sick. Now, one moment, I don't know if there's like a bunch of stuff to go look at and examine in the ocean, other than the retreat in the one other area we saw. But I will check. So be right back. Only something at this retreat, so. Yeah, this is a really cool section. Also, the oh wow, every area gets its own little thing. Interesting. Oh, those pea hats? Oh wow. We've arrived. I forgot that pea hats were in this game. My shack is at the very top. Why was your shack at the very top? How? And why? The sea chart we need is in my shack, but you're the one who will have to go get it. There are more monsters than before, so be careful. I can't wander far from the boat, so I'll just stay here. Do you know why you can't wander far from the boat? Are you aware of your predicament with the time shift stones? That's the only thing keeping you alive right now? Oh no, he probably just doesn't want to leave his boat unprotected, unmanned. Is he not at all concerned about the giant body? That's the thing. Are the robots aware of the cursed existence they find themselves in? Doesn't seem like they do. Oops. Oh, I need that heart. Yeah, this is a really cool area. This is a really cool Gerudo Desert, oddly enough. Kind of freaking cool. But I mean, it's kind of always a really, I think I even mentioned it before. It's kind of always a really cool place though, you know? Wait, anything to get more hearts, thank you very much. And like, this is a cool area to have like this much verticality. Again, it's another case of like an area that has that's just kind of made up of a lot of staggered pieces, but oh, we can't lower like this? Can I jump down to that? No. No, and then I immediately sank into the sand. You can't hook shot two chests, right? No, I wouldn't imagine anyways. Oh. Gotta be a little bit more mindful, that's all. How do I get down to that chest, though? Maybe it'll become more apparent up ahead. Whoa! Yeah, okay. Alright. Okay. That was really rude. It was really messed up. Don't like you for doing that. Oh. The peahats are a lot more like giant cactuses this time around, which is interesting. Oh. No, wait, no ants. Oh, why? What kind of creature just chooses to fall to their death like that? It's so grim. Oh no, if you see, this guy's got a metal shield, so we won't be tricking him. Got a nasty looking. Whoa. So we have to parry then? What? Pete's sake. He keeps oh. I didn't get him. Well, he kept like engulfing me and like twisting me around his body. What? Okay. We're running into a lot of awkward. We're running into a lot of awkward situations in this episode. Can I get back around if I do this? Gotta make sure to get the goddess keys, since these ones are very out of the way, so. Not bad. Okay, I was about to say, I'm like, there is a way to get, a clear way to get back, right? Oh, there's gonna be like a series of zip lines to take back down. Interesting. Ooh, what is that? First time we're using the whip outside of the temple we got it in. Oh, is it to pull a piano out of the ground? Oh, I like how instead of spinning like all the other ones, they actually just flap. That's interesting. Dang, dragonflies are tricky. There we go. I've been really throwing myself around this episode too. Hold on. Hold on. You're not first off rude, because this could be pretty easy to miss. So screw you for that one. And that's like the only time they've ever done that too. That's just mean. I don't know what they were on when they were designing things for this game. They just do some random things like one time that are so strange. No. Link, pull your sword out. What an awful little platform. Jeez. Hello? Woof. Hallelujah. Not bad. 2 out of 3. I'll take it. How many cicadas do you actually have? Oh. 5. Well, that's probably More than I'll ever need. Okay, well, definitely don't zipline down before you figure this out. Go inside and get his thing, huh? Whoa. Oh no, he had friends in here. Remember the gust bellows? That's what moments like this always feel like to me. They always feel like, hey, remember that thing you have, the gust bellows? Oh man, I love the gust bellows. Oh, this is a shot of all of them together. Oh man, look how he had so many crewmates. Wait, if this was his little resort island, these two people just must have been like his family? You know, at first the game makes you think, like when you first meet these robots, they just seem like, you know, they just seem like Roko drones. All they care about is kind of maintaining their mind and like tending to the land, but and it seems like there's a lot more to them. There's a lot more humanity packed into them. This old map details the area as it was long ago before the sea succumbed to the desert sand. Master, look over there. That is the ship containing Nehru's flame. Oh, I thought Fee was about to get sentimental. Silly me. There was a 90% chance that the synthetic life forms assembled here are the crew. This image would indicate that the ship's captain spent many happy days among his crew members. Oh. Well, hold on. Yeah, you're right. Spent many happy days among his crew members. That was an interesting thing for her to point out. Maybe I spoke too soon. Oh. A report, Master. I have detected a bug infestation in the upper area of the house. Oh, the cicadas. Well, thanks for letting me know. That's interesting. I don't know why they don't do little more things like that, more often. Like sitting down. I feel like I've sat down in stools just about anywhere, but like having feet come out, you really shouldn't open other people's cupboards. Okay, well, I was looking for a good hat for my sailing adventure, but whatever. Yeah, it really does tell a story, huh? That's interesting that Fee pointed that out. It's actually kind of somber, right? Dear Captain, thanks for everything. Your crew. Dear Dad, good luck at work. Oh. He did have a family. He had a dad? Did they can do that? I guess, I mean, even if they're just robots, I guess they could make a kid. Out of parts. Well, what is making a kid? What are making kids anyways, except for making them out of parts, I suppose. That's very, kind of melancholic, you know? Because they're just... Oh, this is how you get that chest. They just, it's sad because you know no matter what you do for any of these beings now, what happened to them a long time ago. I got one. Last time I got 2 out of 3, now I got 1 out of 3. Like that basically made up for it. Multiple paths down, not bad. I wonder if, kind of, it does pose the question, you know? I wonder if Fee is happy, if she considers herself part of our crew, if she wonders if we're happy traveling with her. I don't dislike Fee, but I mean, I think it's fair to say that Fee is not a particularly interesting, well, I mean, that's not the word. She's a very interesting, just like what she is, who and what she is, how she looks. She's an interesting companion in that way, right? But as far as like her being a character goes, like she doesn't really have much character there. And when I initially played, I didn't sense much growth or change from her. Maybe it's just more subtle and I didn't pick up on it. We'll see. I mean, there's still a decent amount of game left to play, so. All right. Captain? You got the sea trout. Now we can finally navigate properly. Let's go look for my ship. You know, no... It figures, doesn't it, that one of the coolest sections of the game is us sailing in an ocean again. Anchors away. Open up the sea trout you brought with you. Oh, it's gonna open up more? Aha! The shipyard is located at the X. Let me mark it for you. Okay. But is this where the ship is? So that's the shipyard. Presumably that's where the ship is. And then... what's this, though? The shipyard is where we used to build our ships. My ship was built there, too. If you go to the shipyard, you might find some clues to the location of my ship. Okay, set sail. Well, first things first. Okay, so take this for instance. Right? Let's talk about a little bit about design right now. Now I'm no game designer. I'm just a boy who plays games. But regardless, I feel like as somebody who plays games, I've picked up on at least things that feel good and things that don't feel good. And I've watched things on general game design as well. But take this mechanic. What does this serve, having the boost? Now, boosting is always fun. Being able to go a little bit faster is always cool. But look at the situation we're in right now. There is nothing in this water. Now, we have a cannon. Presumably, we're going to get into fights. So maybe getting into a fight, or having things to fight, is going to make having this boost better. But at the moment, all this boost does is show us that we can go faster for a little bit of time, but that this is how fast they want us to be going. But like, what purpose does this serve? What purpose is going this slower speed serve when there is nothing in the water to warrant us not just being able to go faster all the time, right? What? Like, what's the... What do you... Can you... Can we... Okay. Silly me. I tried to go off the beaten path. Foolish of me. But like, what's gonna happen is we're going to... It's kind of... I mean, it's the same thing with the sprint in the game. There's occasionally like a mini stamina management puzzle where they're like, hey, watch out. You know, you gotta manage your stamina. You're climbing these vines. You're running up this hill. But those are so far and few in between that all the in-between moments where it's like, well, why can't I, you know, and what they did, and you can tell that that actually is a problem, because what did they do? What did they do in Breath of the Wild? They made it to where, did they do it in Breath of the Wild? I'm actually not sure if they did in Breath of the Wild. In Breath of the Wild, though, your normal movement speed was kind of good enough. In this game, your sprint isn't even that much faster than your normal movement speed. So what they should have just had was your normal movement speed just be faster. Or they should have made the sprint way faster. Cause see, like, look, now we got enemies, but like, I don't know. Like, I could have just not killed them. In fact, I mean, I can just go past them, but I don't even need to go past them at a fast speed. Like, just to prove my point, I'm going to go at a normal speed. What the crap was that noise? Oh, it's one of these guys. Okay, now they're dead. Oh, that was like, oh, the music kind of changes a little bit for combat. Criminy. Aw, man, I can't get out of the thing to collect that. Oh well. In I think Elden Ring did a good thing, right? They made your sprint substantially, they made your normal movement speed fine. They made your sprint substantially quick. Oh my gosh, we're getting a little bit of, I don't remember this at all. We're getting a little bit of Donkey Kong? A little bit of Donkey Kong minecarting? Don't mind if I do? We've arrived. This is the island where we used to make our ships. You'll find the shipyard here, as well as the town where the workers lived. That building is the construction bay. But the entrance is closed. Looks like you can't get in. Each location on the island is linked to the others via a minecart track. You might be able to get back to the door of the construction bay if you can get around to the other side of it using a minecart. There's a minecart station over there. You should head to the station first. I'll wait here. So yes, sir. This is a pretty freaking cool area. It's massive too. So this is a town though? Why is everything so disjointed though? We know why everything is disjointed, because that's how they designed everything. but why is this so disjointed though? Elden Ring did a really good thing with stamina, because stamina had multiple purposes. Stamina is also used in combat. Now, stamina is used in combat in this game to stop you from spamming. Well, wait. The thing that these guys drop some their tails, so nothing more. Whoa. Did the other one fall off into the... They always make me fight Lizalfos in areas where they can like fly off. Every time you kill enemies too, they go flying 10 feet in the air into the abyss so you can't pick up their stuff. Okay, I'm sorry. It really sounds like I'm complaining about just about everything right now. I'm just baffled. Gorchum? I'm happy to see more Gorons. Interesting to see them in the desert area, though. Hey, that is my seat. Nobody sits their rear end on my seat but me, got it? Were you gonna do anything about it, big boy? No. The station here was used by folks heading into the old mines. People still ride the minecarts all over the place, though. I am probably supposed to tell you there is some safety information about using the carts posted on the wall over there. Cart riding can be dangerous at times, so I would suggest you give that stuff a quick read. Approach cart, get in. Lean your body to balance the weight of the cart as you approach a curve. Okay. If you're moving too fast, press B to slow down. Jump up to clear obstacles. Well, this seems horrifying. But yeah, what Elden Ring did, right, was if you're not in combat, you can sprint for as long as you want. And then when you enter combat, then it starts to drain. In this game doesn't do enough with stamina in combat to make having that switch possible, but it also doesn't do anything with stamina enough to begin with. So, you know, just why is it in here? In Breath of the Wild, I think they actually use it to great effect. My assumption is I need to turn opposite to the town, right? Or with it? Would that be with it? I guess it's with it, maybe. Oh. Okay, didn't have anything too crazy going on right there. These guys are more skittish. Ah, I saw one of those guys and only one of those guys, and I was really confused because I was like, well, how strange to put just a single little scorpion in here, and then it happened. The infestation was awful. Now, there's nothing to collect in this area. It's just make it to the end, basically. Oh. I wonder if we'll be able... I actually don't remember if we are able to set this place into a state where all the automatons will get to live. Some semblance of life, again. Okay, let's see how this goes. The music is pretty good, though. Oh. That was a split-second decision. Nice. That wasn't bad at all. Fee, would you like to talk about anything? You seem to have more on your mind than usual. Last stop, construction bay. Yeah, there is a goddess cube in here. Master, we have arrived at the shipyard construction bay. Oh, not a shipyard, not a goddess cube in here specifically. It's one in the next area. With the passing of many years, this structure has filled with sand. I recommend looking into the sand for a clue that may direct you to the location of the ship. Scorpions. Sand. A bad omen. I hope the plans for my ship are completed soon. You wrote that on the thing? Only you can warn your co-workers early enough to avoid pirate attacks. Freaking what? Is Smokey the Bear? Freaking what? So there's too much sand here? Okay, well I'll just start clearing it out for you. Oh. Well, that's pretty awful. I'll be honest with you. Oh. Oh, they're playing a different song this time instead of the That's right, everybody. You just have to fight this guy again. And you have to fight him to hear him's music? Oh. Can't parry that, wasn't facing it. Dude, they don't even like flash his name or anything. They're just like, yeah, that's just the, you're just fighting this guy again now. He's still an absolute pushover, though. Too bad we didn't get the Galactos music again. What a shame. Master, it would appear that in the many years this factory went unused. Monsters have moved in and built a nest. I now estimate that the chance of finding a clue in the sand here, as to the ship's location, is extremely low. That is a shame. But don't lose hope, V. We'll figure something out. You know, I knew we fought that guy again, but I did not remember when. So that was actually kind of cool. Okay, I'm gonna fight these guys again because this is the only time they get tails. We haven't seen these guys. What the? What? You get over here. No, I'm not knocking you off this thing. I knew I messed up, but if you're fast enough with the parry, it doesn't matter if you messed up. How many tails do I got now? 5. That should net me some upgrade. There was an upgrade I needed at some point that needed tails. Might have just been the last upgrade for the bomb bag. Who knows? So my ship wasn't here, and there was only one place left for us to look for clues. This could be scary, but we have to head to the stronghold of the pirates who stole my ship. So let's not waste any time. Let's go. Okay, there's gonna be a goddess cube in this next part. This is pretty scary. What's wrong, Skipper? The pirate captain is a mechanical maniac. He's got no shortage of evil underlings, too. I never wanted to lay my eyes on him again, but if we want to take this ship back, then we have no choice. The pirate stronghold is here at the X mark. Well, Skipper, now you got me, so don't even worry about it. I'm also kind of a monster. I'm just not mechanical. Tighten up whatever you humans have instead of bolts. Let's get going. Yeah. Tighten up whatever you have instead of bolts. That's pretty good. Again, it is another shame that, like, there isn't the area, like the actual areas they do have in the Sand Seal. Cool. Oh. We got totems everywhere. Metal totems. Yeah, so basically what we have here is like a mini dungeon. So originally I was going to have this mixed with the side stuff that we did, but I might have that side stuff be its own part. You'll know, because that part will have come out before this one, but we'll see. Because this is a pretty substantial section all of its own. We're already an hour in. This is easily as scary as I thought it would be. But if you think about it, they should all be dead. The only reason I'm up and about like this is because of that time shift zone on the boat. Okay, so you are aware of your existence. I'm really sorry. Wait, so all the robots in the mine should have been aware of that fact as well. But then they all just went right back to work. So I have nothing to worry about. I feel better now, Link. And so it's time for you to go look for my ship. I'll wait here, of course. I'm glad you feel better, man. This unit doesn't... So Fee can talk about... Huh. Wait, I didn't know Fee could talk about other people. Could Navi talk about other people? No, Navi would only if you locked on and she had something to say, she would let you know. This unit's designation, Skipper. It is the leadership model of this series of artificial life forms. The original purpose of this series of robots was mining. It is the supreme model of mass-produced robots. This is a supreme model. He might be a bit larger, although I'm not sure. I love the design though. It'd be cool to see the robots come back. At some point. I like how Skip, that exchange is so funny though. Skipper's like, actually, when you think about it, everybody here should be dead. So that actually makes me feel a lot better. Like the only reason I'm alive is because of this freaking rock. So I guess it's not all bad. Look how it's just teeth. Don't tell me, is this gonna open up? Is that how I'm gonna get in there? It's gonna open. It's gonna make absolutely no sense. I would absolutely love that if this just opens up like a giant mouth. Well, presumably that's what we actually enter. So if you want to fight, come down and fight me then. That's what I thought. Whoa. I guess maybe you wouldn't think to do that? We don't have to worry about a money cap either, because we can carry up to 5,900 rupees now. Which is ridiculous. Okay. Well, time to head in. Whoa! Oh, criminy. Oh, jeez. Oh. Okay, I understand. I was just kind of, I wasn't slow and steady. You gotta be a little bit slow and steady with certain enemies. Oh yeah, everybody will be dead, but we'll have to use time stones in order to power things to move on, I bet. Master, please take a look. This device looks like it's meant to hold a time shift stone, but there is not one currently installed. There's a 95% chance that this is the same type of device as the ones we encountered in the neighbor mine. Signs indicate that time shift stones were used in this facility as a kind of power source. That makes sense. So it's interesting, they're used as a power source, but after time has passed, or they always, well no, because they wouldn't use them as a power source if they always took you to a place in the past from where you currently are standing. Otherwise, that must have been a power that formed in them over time, right? After so long, like after they were used for so long. Cause here's the thing, cause that would mean that in the mine, and like on Skipper's ship and stuff like that, and all these islands and stuff, they were always sitting in like all of the places that these robots were living in and working in would have been put, because of the stones, they would have been put at a previous time, even beyond the ancient times they already existed in. They would have been like ancient times, which would have been, that's too many layers. Basically, the time shift stones make no sense, but they're a really, really cool idea and mechanic, so I don't really care. You can get away with anything as long as it's cool. Wizards. Oh. I'll mess up as many times as I want. I understand how you guys work now. Oh. It's cool. We haven't had a mini dungeon since Ocarina of Time. Wow, that's crazy to think about. Well, I guess Wind Waker, the Forsaken Fortress was kind of a mini dungeon. Master, please take a look. This object is called a time shift orb. I conjecture that, unlike the time shift stones we've seen, this device was designed to be carried around and installed in different locations. Thanks, Fee. Again, could have surmised that. Ooh, the music changed a little bit. Got a bit of a twang to it. I like how you get to see the coloration in the walls and stuff in the stone. It's pretty cool. Whoa! Just gotta attack in a different direction from where you hit them the first time. Should always work out that, like, fine that way, but don't take my word for it. Whoa! I think it is cool to see things sort of just reform as you walk through the halls. What are we looking at? 100 rupees, don't mind if I do. Multiple flowers. Whoa! Really? You don't say. Interesting, interesting. Do you like how like things just become floor? Yeah, this is so cool. They really get their mileage out of it, because the first time you visit, it's like, oh, time shift stones are kind of cool, but they don't really like. It doesn't really feel like they do as much as they could with them. Then you come back again, it's like really good. This is probably, outside of the return to the woods, having a really cool dungeon, and a really cool boss to the dungeon, this is probably oh, this is like probably the best return to an area. Because it just makes the area even better than it kind of already was. It was already like a pretty cool area. A very different take on Gerudo Desert than we've had. Yeah, we got plants. Oh, crafted horn. Okay. Whoa. Ah. 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 A chest. I don't like the lips on these guys. They have such like large lips. Oh. Okay, hold on. Bit of a puzzle here. Oh. Can we... Hold on. Can I... No. No. can't go through. Oh, do I just toss this out first? Yeah. There we go. Sick. Okay. Finding a lot of chests. Thank you. Oh gosh, gonna have to fight all these guys. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, still got taste. What? Slash, Link, slash. I keep expecting to start them to drop like ancient cores and parts and stuff, like like they would in Breath of the Wild or something. Yeah. Don't mind if I do. You know, we're gonna have a bit of a tussle. Bit of a monster mash. Oh, crud, I should have done one at a time. For Pete's sake. What was the point of these guys? Fee, what did these guys do? Oh, like originally. I'll take that. Oh, all that to just get back to here. That was probably like the whole dungeon though, right? Oh. You know, that is pretty cool though. Doesn't make any logistical sense. But gosh dang it, it's cool looking. Like I said, it doesn't have to make sense. It just has to be cool. Oh, there's like ship mass submerged under the sand. A report, Master. The power of the time shift orb appears to have caused a change in the structure. I recommend going outside to further assess the situation. Well, Fee, you're the boss. You know, I think the reveal that, like, even way before this game, which is already way before any of the other games, right? Way before anything in the Zelda timeline. There was... Oh, it's all kind of colored. No, it still looks pretty ancient, though. I have information to report, Master. Please take a look. There is a 60% probability that these masts and these sails are from the ship that protects Nehru's flame. You can now set your dowsing ability to search for the ship that holds Nehru's flame. Oh, just like that? Well, hold on, though. Was that the whole shebang? There's a lot of ants. Oh, I stepped on one. Oh no. I feel so bad. I just wanted to reunite him with his ant family, who I'm also kidnapping, but that's fine. It's okay. I mean, they're probably going to turn into potions or be sold to a guy who's going to pin them to a wall. But, you know, bugs don't live that long anyway. Oh, there we go. I was wondering what this was. Oh, so that really is it. I actually thought we were going to run into that robot captain. Oh, robot pirate captain, I should say. But no, that was it. Okay. Well then. Oh. Don't know how I didn't take damage there, jeez. I got one. Yeah, I think the reveal that, yeah, the Gerudo Desert was attached to, or housed a massive ocean, right? Like that there was a Lanayru Sea, basically, that probably extended out to who knows where, right? But obviously every time we've seen the Lanayru region, it's been either just a complete massive desert that expands as far as the eye can see, or like in Twilight Princess, it's a desert, but it's also like the ground is torn up. It's torn up, isolated, surrounded by like large mountain walls and stuff. And the ground, like the actual desert itself, is kind of crumbling. It looks like it's about. And that's kind of the weird thing about Twilight Princess, is that Hyrule kind of feels like, or looks like it was at risk of tumbling deeper into the earth. Like all the land was crumbling away. I don't know if there's a reason for that, if there's some like deep lore reason for that, or if that was just a visual style, a choice that they were going for. But it is interesting. Yeah, it's strange to imagine the Gerudo Desert, of all things, being eventually leading out to a massive ocean, or that it was part of a massive ocean at one point that eventually became so arid and dry that the whole thing filled up with sand, like the whole ocean dried, basically. Essentially, you would imagine like this is like this isn't even, no, that's the thing, right? That's not even the sea floor, because we can see the sea floor. The sea floor is right there. It's a very, very shallow waters, right? So my ship wasn't here either. You found a clue. You know the place? Some kind of thing called dowsing? That's amazing. This time we'll definitely find my ship. Ready to set sail? To sea. To sea. Anchors away. How are we going to search this whole huge sea? I have no choice but to ask you to do it for me, so get cracking. There's a high probability that the ship is currently hidden from our view. But if we attack it, then we might catch a glimpse of it. Oh wait, yeah, because you said it was designed to go invisible. Right, okay. This is a delightful section. I'm actually really, really thoroughly enjoying this. For as much as I might have been complaining about 20 million things at the beginning, I do want to get the point across that this game is a really good time. It is a really fun time. It just it makes the, when it's at its best, holy crud, what the crud? A lot of these guys. Excuse me. When it's at its best, it makes the strange design choices and little irksome mechanics and speed of the game and like speed, like general speed of the game, just sort of like strange, you know? It makes it stand out more. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad they let us keep driving and speed up. Oh. What? What? Wait, hold on, hold on. What do you mean it's all the way over there? We bumped into it. It's all the way over there now? Is this a really small ship? This should be like a really big ship, right? No? Am I losing my mind? Or did we bump it and it like made it move faster? Oh! Did you see it? That's my ship. We must pursue and keep pounding it with the cannon. Oh, I hit it twice. Oh, it looks like a freaking ghost ship. It's massive, too. You heard that sound right. This is our next dungeon. Another amazing dungeon concept. Rivals the dungeon settings of Twilight Princess, for sure. However, that is a whole can of worms that we are going to have to open up next time. If you enjoyed this, then, you know, by all means, you can hit a thumbs up. You can hit a thumbs down, just for kicks and giggles, you know, if that floats your boat. I post all kinds of things on this channel, so stay tuned for more. You can hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to make sure that you are updated on more things to come in the future. There are a lot more things to come in the future, so look forward to that. There are some things on the horizon that will not be announced just yet, but I have some bigger career/personal project-esque things to probably announce onto here and maybe eventually advertise onto here. It depends on what sort of timeline we're looking at between me and a friend, a good friend of mine. But yeah, we'll see about that. We'll tackle that when we get there. And as I continue to viciously remove more ants from their families, we're gonna call it there. I will say, this section has actually been, I mean, the introduction of, the reveal that the Gerudo Desert used to be part ocean, or used to be an ocean at one point. That, it's one thing to reveal that, oh, the Gerudo Desert used to be like a lush green, like grassland, sort of mountainy grassland area. Oh, okay, cool. That makes sense. That I could totally see how that could be the case. But then to reveal that it used to extend out into a massive ocean is something else, and then getting to sail a portion of it. And what did we do? We climbed these like high canyon pillars to get to a resort house at the very top. We went down and rode mine carts all the way through a mountainous shipyard town, shipyard slash town. We went into a pirate cove, and then we had to find an invisible mechanical ghost ship that has just been sailing aimlessly, invisible around the waters for centuries. This area is cool. This is probably the best part of the game. And do you know why I feel like I can confidently say that? It's because I don't remember what the next part of the game is at all. But I always remembered this. I always remember this whole section. You know, it's funny because I was so sure that like the water temple and Galactos were going to be the peak of the game, but honestly, I think this area has the water temple. Has any of the other, not just the water temple. The dungeons are kind of their own thing, right? But this area has all the other areas that we've been through in this game beat so far, and honestly, it's a section that definitely absolutely rivals some of the peak moments of the other Zelda games, which has been cool to see and experience again. It's another reason why like I was for sure going to play this game again. I know it's a bit on the controversial side, you know. It's very hit and miss with a lot of people, but I think this is why it's moments like this that make it worth experiencing again. Even after playing so many amazing games back to back to back, and trying to go into it with an open mind for sure. Because the second half of the game, I remember a lot of flashes, a lot of bits and pieces, but games surprising me a lot of the time, which is cool. It's cool to see. There is a matter of the concept of this next dungeon. I don't remember the actual contents of the dungeon itself. I do remember two aspects of it though. I remember a mini boss and I remember the boss. And I think those two things are going to be really cool to see again. But also just the fact that it is an invisible ancient ghost ship that has been flying around, and like that's what the dungeon that we're going to be exploring is. I think that's amazing. I think that's really, really cool. And that for sure rivals, you know, I tooted Twilight Princess's horn a lot when it came to having interesting concepts and locations, settings for its dungeons. But I will say the water temple and this one are pretty high up there for sure. We'll see. Maybe Ghost Ship sucks. Maybe the Sand Ship is not fun to actually play through. It's just, but I mean, as far as just the concept and setup for it goes, the context around why you're going to the why this is a dungeon, and the context of what it is, just that alone, definitely for sure rivals all the other great Zelda dungeon concepts. Even Arbiter's Grounds, but you know, Arbiter's Grounds, that was another Gerudo Desert thing. Spirit Temple and Ocarina of Time was great. It was one of the best ones. It kind of seems like anytime you do Gerudo Desert, it kind of just is pretty much 10 out of 10 as far as like content in the game goes. Anywho, that's enough rambling from me. Next time we'll see if it can maintain that 10 out of 10 when we actually play it. But yeah, see you then. Section reinvigorated me. Something else.